The Moodeng token is one of the best performing meme coins on Solana today. Now, does it make sense to still jump on this rally? Who's actually triggering this rally? Who's buying here? Is this small retail? Is this the whales? Let's have a look at some on-chain metrics most people are not considering. So here are the top trending tokens on Solana. And they are ordered by liquidity, and Moodeng is one of the top performers among the largest tokens. Now, this is not the first video on Moodeng on this channel. I actually published 3 videos before this one. Now, that first video didn't get initially that much traction, but then with the price rise, it started to pick up. The subsequent video for the Ethereum-based Moodeng performed pretty poorly. So that gives us a hint that retail interest into the ETH-based Moodeng isn't really that high. The prices are not coupled. So if you consider buying Moodeng, don't pick the Ethereum-based one, at least just based on those numbers. The third video on Moodeng then finally took off. This is always how it works with crypto and YouTube, right? Once the investor base grows, of course, the video will also get more popularity. Unfortunately, it's the best to buy when the token is still not that popular, right? That first video was published when Moodeng was still at 20 cents. Now it's at 62 cents. And so even though the YouTube algorithm is against me, even though if I publish videos on smaller tokens, it might not get as many views, I still think it's important. It's important to provide enough value. So feel free to subscribe. I publish videos on various meme coins regularly here. You just have a look at this and compare how those tokens performed relative to the rest of the market. Now, here is how I always start an analysis. And I think it's a very good thing to do for everybody. You don't need any fancy tooling. Simply go to dexscreener.com and look at this data over here. First of all, we see the price action today, of course, plus 45%. But then we can also see what's behind that price action. We see an overhang of 52% buyers versus 48% sellers. But at the same time, we see that the buying volume isn't that different to the selling volume. There's only a delta of roughly $1 million. In other words, the sellers tend to have larger transactions than the buyers. Even though there are more buyers, way more buyers, if there wasn't that much profit taking, the price would go up way more. Now let's have a look at what's going on chain. Let's look into the details of those 53,000 holders. Now here's something I look at for pretty much any video on this channel, and that's the number of first-time traders versus recurring traders on a day and the number of transactions per day. There's something very interesting happening. Since the 9th of November, the number of first-time traders exceeds the number of recurring traders again, with it accelerating on the 13th of November. Now here is the 9th of November and here is the 13th of November. This is something we very often see. Whenever new people enter the token, the price subsequently tends to rally. In other words, if there's more adoption by small retail, the whales notice this and they buy up even more. Now this trend continues, so this is very, very positive for the price. At the same time, we also see how the number of token transactions goes up. So that's also another measure of attention growing, which in turn means that the price can stabilize at a higher level. And so here is how I see crypto. Crypto is both a game of luck and skill. And the more the game is played, the more the capital over time accumulates towards the people that are very skilled, right? The less important the luck component becomes. Thus, once we see whales buying more and more of a token, that's a positive sign, right? The people that know how to play the game, they're accumulating, thus the price is more likely to go up. And so what we've got over here is the trading volume split up by different trader segments, by different wallet sizes. On the left side, simply in US dollars, on the right side, normalized to 100% per trading day. And as so often, we see attention coming in waves. Ideally, you want to be selling when attention is at a peak and you want to be buying when attention is at a low. Currently, we are building up attention again. Now we can ignore this latest data point over here because the day isn't yet over. But what we can also see is that as a fraction of all of trading volume, the larger wallets tend to make up more and more of trading. Small retail, so the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token, make up less and less. Now the numbers are a bit skewed because we do have centralized exchange listings of Moodeng. So on the left side, we see on-chain the number of holders that have at least 2,000 Moodeng tokens. At the current price, that's roughly $1,200. In the middle, we see the number of holders with 20,000 tokens, so $12,000 worth of the token. And on the right, $120,000 worth of the token. What happened over here? It's a centralized exchange listing. So some people moved their Moodeng token over to the max Cs of this world. And so what's better than just looking at these kind of graphs is to look at how many holders are there now, relatively speaking, in those different segments. And we can see that over time, the number of whales and the number of large retail wallets tended to go up. There's less and less small retail wallets. And of course, this crash that we see over here is the listing again. We see that over time, even after the listing, the whales tend to buy more and more. Now, there's a common misconception. Most people think that currently the altcoins outperform everything else, but that can't be further from the truth. The altcoin market as a whole is actually underperforming. Have a look at this. This is the others dominance. This is the market cap of all altcoins that are not in the top 10, and this went down since beginning of the year by more than 30%. At the same time, the Bitcoin dominance went up. So Bitcoin as a fraction of all of crypto becomes larger and larger. The reason why it feels so different is because you're probably already active in the segment of crypto that is outperforming. Now we can look at this in a more differentiated way, but here are the different categories within crypto that performed the best in the last week. Number one is the zoo-themed tokens. Number two is the pump.fun ecosystem. Now within the zoo-themed tokens, number one is Peanut, which is also a pump.fun ecosystem token, and number two is Moodeng. And so it appears as if the launchpad on Solana, the Memecoin launchpad, tends to do the best, and within that launchpad, it's the zoo-themed tokens. Because again, both of those tokens come from pump.fun. Now, here is another misconception. Most people think that buying and selling meme coins is simply just gambling. It's just a matter of luck. And that's true if you don't know what you're doing. But there is a skill component to this. We've already looked at the on-chain analytics. We've already looked at discovering who's currently driving the prices. But what we can also do is we can dive even deeper. We can track individual wallets. And so have a look at this here. This is an alert that influencer Archie Lim bought the Moodeng token for 24 cents. Here's that influencer, he's got 71,000 subscribers. And again, 24 cents isn't a bad entry, given that we are up more than 160% since then. I have a look at this. This is the Peanut token, so the largest of the Pump Fun ecosystem tokens. We've got a signal here that Crypto Banter bought Peanut for 3 cents. Since then, the price went up by more than 5,000%. Now, here's the Crypto Banter channel. They've got more than 1 million subscribers, and whenever they talk about a token, of course, attention goes up, and with increased attention, the price tends to go up as well. And so the skill component in all of this is to find out what influencer owns what kind of wallet, to then track those wallets and to then properly interpret those signals. We've got 33 wallets by Crypto Banter alone. In total, we track more than 400 wallets. And so I really believe in this strategy. I've made a tutorial section just on that topic. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we track them? And how can we interpret the signals? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. The link is down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. It's not just about wallet tracking, right? It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today. It's also about portfolio diversification. It's about backtesting. There's more than 100 different videos in premium. And so once we've got a wallet signal, we of course also have to discuss when to buy, when to sell. We have to update our on-chain analytics, etc. For that, we've got individual altcoin chats within premium as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't make money, just message me within the first 7 days and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so can Moodeng go higher? Yes, I believe it can, because the smart money, the whales, they continue to buy. Is it the very best upside? I'm not sure, because the market cap is already large. I believe most upside is in the very, very small coins. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish this regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. Helps the channel grow. See you in the next video, or see you in premium. Cheers.